looking so fresh. When I walk by, breaking their necks. Waiting in line at the team store. Now I'm feeling fly like a condor. Eyes on me when I walk through the door. Man, I wish I bought a couple more. Cause I really love my city. It was worth every penny. If it were at my show, then I know they gon' tip me. Think I might add a couple patches. If you think it's ugly, you capping. Now my whole outfit matching. Never going out of fashion.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome. It is Talking Friars here on opening day. Ben Fadden with you. The Padres knock off the Braves. It looked like maybe it was going to be a loss, a one-run loss. Then they get back tied. Braves take a lead. They get back, and a big four-run seventh inning, a homer by Gavin Sheets to tie it up. And then it was a lot of good team baseball today. And the Padres were able to get that 7-4 win. Adam had a really good eighth inning, quick. Suarez, not amazing, but gets the job done. And the Padres are the best team in baseball. Well, technically the Dodgers if they win tonight against the Tigers because they have more games played. But you get the point. They are undefeated. World Series, here we come. We'll get to Michael King and his outing, obviously. We'll get to some of the key moments in this game, the lineup construction against a lefty in Chris Sale today, the bullpen, how they did. But if you want to join the show, I did want to invite those that wanted to. You can click that link that's pinned up. I think it's pinned up at the top of the chat on YouTube. If it's not pinned up, just scroll up to the top, click that, and you will be into the green room, and I can put you on the show to give your thoughts. But before I do that, just want to give my overall thoughts on this win for the Padres here. I think right out of the gate, what I'm going to remember from this opening day was how impressive Merrill and Manny were. Did we know that these guys were really good baseball players? Of course. But Manny and his base running is what's going to stand out. And then Merrill just being Jackson Merrill, not trying to do too much in that first inning with that single. Just, put the bat on the ball. No, big power behind that swing. He wasn't trying to go deep or anything. Does his job, couple of runs, score, and we're off and running. Manny today, what he did, there was the double steal, which was obviously big. And Merrill ends up driving in 4 runs in this game, and Manny was big in front of him on that. Manny, because there was a righty on the mound, or lefty, excuse me. Manny was batting third in this game, and then Jackson Merrill was batting fifth. We'll see what happens when a righty's on the mound, where Merrill ends up batting, probably third. But yeah, Merrill just not trying to do too much, obviously with that 2 RBI single, but then bottom third comes around, and he grounds out to first to Matt Olson. But Manny was at third base there, and that wasn't just a let's say Matt Olson was playing deep at first base. He was playing right on the bag, and it was a pretty hard hit one. Olson grabs it. When he catches the ball, he's essentially on first base, so he's out there. Olson spins on his butt, throws it home, thinking that he can get Manny out, and he probably would have if the throw was a good one. Sails it, but he had to rush because Manny had a good read right off the bat and saw, hey, I'm going to take this opportunity. Let's do this. I'm on third. There's no guarantee because there were 2 outs in the inning. There's no guarantee that you're even going to get that opportunity to score. Someone could strike out. It could be a pop-up. So go ahead and do it. That's not an easy position for Matt Olson to be throwing the ball there. And so that's the IQ of Manny right there. And there's a lot of smart baseball players on this team. And was Manny smart before Mike Schilt came? Of course. But Mike Schilt, part of who he is he makes sure that the Padres do the little things right. And we saw that a lot today. Taking the extra base. Tatis getting his running game back. When he hit that ball off the left field wall and he wasn't running out of the box. Now, Profar we know has a good arm, but that still irritated me that he wasn't running out of the box. He's on first, and he ends up getting on third, moments later, because he steals. I forget how he got to second base, but maybe it was a ground ball. Yeah, I think it was a ground ball that he hustled to make sure it wasn't a double play ball, and then he steals third. Just good reads. Manny stole, I think, third a couple of times today. He went for 3 for 4, scored a couple of runs. And then Manny today, 2 for 3, 3 runs scored, drove in a run. Merrill, 1 for 3, 4 runs driven in. Obviously, we'll get to Gavin Sheets. But I just, I loved the little things today because that's going to make a difference in a long season. If the Padres do the little things correctly with base running, with getting guys over, not trying to do too much, you know, that's going to win you games. That's going to win you a game 4-3. I know the Padres won not comfortably, but they won by multiple runs today because they had a big eighth inning there with 4 runs in the eighth. But not every game's going to be like that. It's going to maybe both, have a 2-run homer in a game, and late in the game, who's going to make that right decision? It could come down to runner on second, ball hit to the right side. Do you immediately make that good jump? Or runner on third, let's say, ball hits, grounder hit to the infield, and it's hit pretty sharp, but you have a really good jump on it, and you maybe force a bad throw by the shortstop or the second, whoever the ball's hit to. Little things like that are going to add up. So I love seeing that today. I think Mike Schilt had to be a really happy man watching that from the dugout. And then Gavin Sheets with that homer. I mean, might as well just go through all the scoring. Braves as well, because I'll get to Michael King, but wasn't the best start. Braves got that 1-0 lead. There was the force out. I thought he got out of it with the double play, but runner beat Bogey's throw at first. Merrill with the 2 RBI single made it 2-1. Top of the third, Ozzie Albies with the homer. I was at the game, so I wasn't seeing the pitch location, but it seemed like in my social media replies that it was a meatball thrown by Michael King, and anyone could have hit that out. But it was such an easy swing by Ozzie Albies. Made it 3-2, and I tweeted this. This was a totally different Ozzie Albies that we saw today, and it was clear. He was playing with what, one arm in the postseason last October? He was not Ozzie Albies. It was when Ozzie Albies was up, I was super confident that he was going to get out in October. And that's not the same feeling, obviously, that we have now. He made it 3-2. Bottom third comes around. Merrill with that ground ball to first that we just discussed. Matt Olson, bad throw. Manny forcing him to make the throw. And that's what I love. Like, make the other team do their job. And if you do that enough times, then, because Manny in that situation, he didn't have to run home. He could have saw, oh man, Olson already has it. He's on first. But he was running hard home, and you force it, and you get rewarded for it. That made it 3-3 in the third. Austin Riley with the homer got the Braves back in front, made it 4-3, and then the Padres didn't score until the bottom of the seventh came around. Gavin Sheets pinch hitting, because obviously he was a lefty on the mound, so he wasn't in the lineup. Gavin Sheets pinch hits the homer, gets his arms out extended, barely got out, but that doesn't matter. Made it 4-4, and that's what a great moment that was for Gavin Sheets, huh? Like, the White Sox, the worst team ever in a single season, didn't want you, and then he fights his way, earns his way onto this Padres, a contending team's roster, and not only that, but he's going to be in the lineup against probably lefties, against righties, and then he comes up first at bat as a Padre at Petco, and he hits a game-tying homer. That's a pretty good comeback story there. I know it's one game. It's a better comeback story for, if he has a really good year, but it's off to a really good start. Luis Ariz, sac fly. That made it 5-4. Hayward scored. He pinch ran for Diaz, I want to say, because Diaz singled. Got to second. Tatis ended up getting to third on that one. He scored on Manny's double down the line. That made it 6-4. And then Merrill with a sac fly made it 7-4. Manny scored on that one. And that was another hustle play by Manny because it was a pretty good throw from Kelnick, and Manny had to bust it. But he got in there. I think he said post game on one of the plays. I forget if it was the double steal or what, but he thought that he was out. He came off. I think it was a steal, one of the steals. Came off the bag, but they didn't call it. And the Braves ended up not reviewing it. But again, he put himself in that situation to even have the play be that close. So tough day for the Manny can't hustle, Manny doesn't hustle crowd out there. Did I get on him? When was that? Was that last year or 20? I think that was 2023 when he didn't hustle in New York against the Mets. If you watch every Padre game, you'll know what I'm talking about. I got on him there because I thought in that situation, I think it was like seventh inning, runner on second or third maybe, and hits a ground ball, and I thought he should have hustled in that situation. I'm not asking him to hustle on a ground ball hit to second base in the first inning, and there's nobody on base with 2 outs in an inning. You know, I get it; it's a long season, but he hustles for the most part when it matters, and he saves his legs, I should say. I was about to say saves his bullets, but you get what I'm saying. He picks and chooses the right time. There are going to be those old school fans out there that are going to want Manny to hustle all the time, like Adam Rosales or something. That's not who he is. And to be honest, I don't want him to be that guy because he's going to get hurt at some point if he did do that. We need him in the lineup. When he's healthy, he's an MVP player, MVP caliber player. He should have won the MVP in 2022, and he was not healthy some of that year. Remember the ankle injury that he suffered in Colorado? Yeah, brutal. And then came back and still played pretty well. 2024, first half, he was recovering from the elbow surgery. Second half, he was healthy. Not healthy, but you get what I'm saying. Healthier, feeling better with the elbow, the slot in his swing, all that. And what happens? He hits like an MVP candidate. So he's going into this year healthy, and he already has made an impact. I know it's game one, so it's probably easy for him to make that impact on the bases, but they can't take this win away from you. So I'm happy with it, and I'm happy with Manny's performance, happy with Merrill's performance. Tatis, love it that we're seeing that running game back. Yes, it's one game. We'll see what happens the rest of the way. But he made things happen as well. Not afraid to take second base. Not afraid. He took third base a couple of times today. Essentially, to me, definitely the first one I want to say, it was an easy steal at third. Like he read the pitcher. He knew that the pitcher was not going to be throwing back, and he takes it. So love seeing that from him. Merrill, I want to shout out the defense. A couple good catches. Brandon Lockridge robbed a homer and left. I know it's a short wall, but still. And then Jackson Merrill also robbed one in center. Maybe it would have hit the top of the wall, but it could have also hit the top of the wall and went out, or just totally went out. So Merrill, I would not be surprised if he wins the center field Gold Glove. Maybe not this year, but maybe it's in the recent future down the road here, because the guy he's an athlete, and he's just going to get more and more comfortable out there in center, and it seems like he loves it. If I remember correctly, he's out there shagging all the time, just trying to get better, and he just loves baseball, right? What I love, I'll shout out Jackson this way. I don't know if they showed this on the Padres television broadcast, but when Merrill had the sac flies, when he had a sacrifice ground out, right? Yeah, that ground out to first. I immediately look at Merrill at first base to see his reaction, and he's clapping as if he just hit a home run. That's how happy he is that, hey, I got the run in. I did my job. Does he want to go yard there? Does he want to put one in the gap? Probably. But at the end of the day, what mattered there was that he at least didn't waste that runner at third base. He got the run in, and therefore you take it and you move on. And he has a 4 RBI day. And guess what? Without those 4 RBIs, the Padres may lose this game 4-3. So it just continues to. I'm wearing my Merrill jersey right now, actually. And I have a Merrill breaking T-shirt underneath. By the way, they have released new Jackson Merrill shirts. So go check it out. Breaking Tea. Link is in the description there. They've got Padres and Aztecs shirts and sweatshirts. Merrill, new stuff. And I'll promote it on social media here later tonight if you cannot find it. So that'll be at Talking Friars on Twitter and on Instagram. But yeah, Merrill, like, just love the guy. Everything about him. There's not one negative thing that I could think of. I mean, he says everything. He says the right thing every time. He wants to get better, and he's a baseball rat. He is there early. He's so excited. He's like a kid. Kid in a candy store. Is that the right saying? Just loves being at the yard as if he's a fan, but he's a player in that clubhouse, you know? So it's awesome. I mean, he's advocating for additional pro teams to be in San Diego to have an NFL team back. Like, the guy loves being in San Diego. He wanted the rest of his career. Is that going to happen? That's up to ownership. I did see John Seidler sitting in the owner's seats right by the Padres dugout. Sheil Seidler and Peter used to sit there a lot, and I did not see Sheil at all. I do have her tweet notifications on, and she did wish the Padres luck, but I don't think that she was at the game today. If she was, I would think she would have made it known. But all I can say is I didn't see her. I did see John. I did see John's wife. What's her name? I'm blanking on her name. Apologies. But they were there sitting, at least for the beginning of the game, because later in the game I looked down and they weren't there. But he was there today. What else do I want to get to here? Michael, we'll get to the pitching performances here, obviously. Michael King, not the best outing. Again, I wasn't watching the broadcast, so I couldn't see how bad his misses were early on, but it seemed like he wasn't locating that changeup the way he wanted to, and just his pitches overall. For those that were watching on TV, you can let me know, were his pitches middle? Some of those, like, what was going on there? 2 2/3 innings for him, 4 hits, 3 earned runs, 4 walks. Didn't feel like it felt actually like less walks than 4, but it did feel like, yeah, this guy, he just doesn't have the location. And I'm sure he tried to make adjustments, but it just wasn't going to be there today. And thankfully, it's opening day. So it's not like he was expected to go 7. Now, he wants that. That's probably a standard, but it's not like the Padres were expecting him to go 7 innings today. And you have a fresh bullpen, obviously. So we got introduced to almost the entire bullpen. Jacob, Matsui, Estrada, Peralta, Adam, and Suarez. So that's 6 of the 8 relievers. Omar Cruz did not pitch. And then Adrian Morejon did not pitch. Those were the only 2 that didn't pitch. But I loved what I saw. Matsui got help from Merrill, obviously. And he got help from Lockridge as well. But he goes inning and 2/3, no runs. Estrada, I love Estrada. I think he's one of those players in baseball that the city loves him, but how much love does he get nationally? Like, nothing. He got love during the strikeout streak, but everyone was. But love that guy. And he's another one like Merrill that seems like just loves the city of San Diego and wants to be here forever. So, awesome. Wandy did pitch. When I saw him, not going to lie, when I saw him running out, I was like, oh, this seems a little early to be going to Wandy, and especially in the situation that they were in and the score. But he got his one batter and got it. And then Jason Adam, loved it. Strikeout. Going into this year, I want to trust Suarez, but Jason Adam, it's like the postseason. Him and Scott were the 2 guys I trusted the most. Adam is the reliever I trust the most. And that was confirmed today. 15 pitches, 11 of them were strikes in that 1 inning of work. I was thinking, like, maybe if I was Schilt, would I have left Adam in for the 9th? But it's also opening day. It's a 4-game series. You don't have an off day before this Cleveland series. I think it's Cleveland, starting on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. So just get Suarez to work. And he went an inning. He ends up getting the save. Couple of punch outs. Now, he did I don't want to be too hard on Suarez because yes, he did have that walk, but let's remember the inning was extended longer than it needed to be because he got the ground ball, but Bogey sailed the throw too high. Rice couldn't get back down on the bat, and I think it was Albies that beat it out. That's not on Suarez. He did his job. He got the ground ball, so not too bad on Suarez. Just would have wished that it would have been 1-2-3. Wouldn't have had the walk there, but overall, like, am I gonna sit here and be worried about Michael King? No. If it's a location thing, which I feel like that's what it was today, again, me watching from 309, um, that can be fixed. That's going to be fixed. I'm not going to worry about Michael King on one start. I know it was Cactus League, but the start before that, he pitched well, really well. So, yeah, it's one start. I'm going to take the bigger sample size of last year to be like, no, this is one of our aces, than to be, oh, Michael King opening day, couldn't get through 4 innings. Uh-oh. I mean, couldn't get through 3 even. 4 walks. Uh-oh, Padres are in trouble. That would be an overreaction after one start. But hopefully we don't have to use 6 relievers tomorrow. That would be great. Tomorrow night. Dylan Cease will be on the mound. And remember, the Braves do not have Spencer Strider right now, don't have Acuna, and don't have Sean Murphy. So Padres are getting the Braves at a pretty good time. Profar led off for the Braves, and he got the standing ovation when the lineup introductions were happening. And then I think some people cheered for him in the first inning when he was about to come to bat. But I think he took off his helmet to like salute the crowd. But I think the Padres kind of screwed up, to be honest, on the Jumbotron because they put like the Get Loud on there because it was the first batter Michael King was going to face and kicking off the Padres season. Instead of just not doing that, and if it was going to be an ovation for Profar, we knew it was going to be for Profar. But the Jumbotron said like Get Loud, I think. And then there was music playing. Like, for those that were at the game or been at Petco for the Get Loud stuff, you know what I'm talking about. And I think that was actually the cheers, not really for Profar, but Profar thought that the cheers were for him, maybe. Um, the introductions, the cheers definitely were there, and there were people standing and clapping for him. So he definitely got the love. He got the love during BP when he was out there in left field. Now we do realize the impact that he has. For those that don't, I already did, obviously, but for those that maybe didn't appreciate the impact that he had, we saw it today with how he wore down Padres pitching with the long at bats. Had a 12 pitch at bat. I want to say it was against Alec Jacob. And it's just like, all right, bro, get out, please. Can we stop this? Just foul ball back in the crowd. Foul ball, foul ball, foul ball. Just kept doing it and just making contact. Not hard contact. He's not trying to make hard contact because he's just spoiling the pitch from Alec Jacob. He wants to get his pitch. He did bite for some pitches that were up, but we've seen that before. But wishing Pro obviously all the best, except for when the Padres play the Braves. And I'm wishing him the best, especially when they play other NL West opponents and the Mets and the Phillies and other teams that will be contending for a playoff spot alongside the Padres. So Braves lineup today was Profar, Riley, Olson, Ozuna, Albies, Harris, Baldwin, Arcia, and Kelnick. Ozuna obviously is a big threat. He was someone that I was like, okay, especially when like King wasn't doing great. Uh-oh. But it's not like he homered or anything. And then the Padres lineup with the lefty on the mound, Tatis, Arise, Machado, Bogarts, Merrill, Gurriel, Crony, Lockridge, and then Diaz. And Sheets pinch hit for Lockridge. He hit that homer, obviously. And then Maldonado came in to play catcher, had one at bat. Diaz was pinch ran for by Hayward. So that's how they made that switch. Hayward pinch ran. Then he scored, right? Yeah, he scored. That was on the double, right? No, on a rise sack fly to right. My bad. Anyway, getting back to what I was saying. So Hayward pinch ran. He goes and plays left field. And so He's in the lineup, obviously, so they just swapped the left field and catcher spots essentially when those guys went in. But someone behind me in my section was talking about how I overheard because they were kind of loud, to be honest. They were talking about how like now the Padres don't have any speed on the bench late in the game because Lockridge was already out of it. Everyone else was already in. Hayward was in left. They didn't have speed, and they were talking about Tyler Wade not being on the team and all that. But in that situation, you got to remember that the Padres they had a multiple run lead there, and so having speed, bringing in speed, you bring in speed, in my opinion, when you're down by a run in the ninth inning or the eighth inning, and you have, you know, let's say Elias Diaz and Maldonado's on the bench. Elias Diaz leads off with a double or something, right? Or Gurriel, someone like that. Then you can bring speed on. Iglesias did not appear in this game. I guess he could pinch run. I don't think he's the fastest, but he'd be faster than one of those guys. But when you have a lead like this, you just want to go for the matchup. So when you have Elias Diaz on first base and Hayward's on the bench, you're going to put Hayward in the game because you want to tack on to increase your chances. And you put Hayward in left, that's a good defensive outfielder. You're fine. And then you can put Maldonado behind the plate and it's still fine. So I had no issue with what happened here today with the lineup and the substitutions and anything like that. As I said pregame, Bogart's hitting fourth, Merrill hitting fifth. I want Merrill to have as many at bats as possible, but when he's hitting fifth and you got those guys ahead of him doing their job, that's a lot of RBI opportunities. And as we saw today, Merrill, I mean, that's not the worst place to have him because he doesn't try to do too much. Gurriel, he's a big swinger, pull hitter, but you have Merrill who just puts the ball in play, ground ball, get the run in, he's pumped up going back to the dugout. He did his job. Sack fly, pumped up going back to the dugout. Just poking it into center field, getting the Padres in the lead, 2-1 lead, pumped up. He's not looking to be the hero all the time. And he was the hero, but his mindset is not trying to be the hero. He's just doing his job to not waste that runner and strand him at third base. So if this is what happens and Merrill does hit fifth, I still want him up a lot, but you have Arise as a lefty up there, and I want him up a lot because he hits for average. You want Tatis up a lot. You want Manny up a lot. Bogarts, we'll see. But like Merrill will have those opportunities, and he's a good job. He does a good job. He's a good option to have when you have guys on base, and those guys hopefully will get on base a lot this year, and that will allow Merrill to drive in runs, and we know he's not going to try to do too much. We'll see what happens when there's a lineup against a righty. Again, I assume Merrill would hit third, but maybe they like what they saw today and they have Merrill hit a little bit down, I'm not saying seventh, but fourth or fifth, so that could give them an opportunity to have another base runner on in front of Merrill. Anything else I wanted to hit on from today? I'm going to get to the chat, obviously. Reminder, if you want to join the show, click that link pinned up at the top of the chat. If it's not pinned, just scroll up to the top. Randy Vasquez, Jeff Sanders tweets he will get the start on Saturday. So we know the probables for the rest of this series. It's going to be Cease tomorrow, Vasquez on Saturday, Pavetta on Sunday Night Baseball. Saturday's game, by the way, that's a reminder, not 5:40, it's 4:15. It's on Fox. And then Monday would be Kyle Hart against Cleveland. Dennis Lynn with a note here today. Jackson Merrill is the first player aged 21 or younger to drive in at least 4 runs in a season opener since Jason Hayward did it in 2010. Manny, who scored the last run, has 2 doubles and 2 stolen bases in a game for the first time in his career. I think the Padres were able to catch the Braves a little bit off guard. And the Braves, some of them not being totally locked into what was going on. And I love that, obviously, as a Padres fan. And that's great. That's like Mike Schilt baseball, right? You know, for those that listen to Mike Schilt press conferences and read his quotes and all that, you've heard him talk about give them nothing and take away everything, right? Take as much as you can that they give you and don't give anything away. And the Padres did a great job of that for the most part today. Sure, there were some walks in there, but offensively, they took a lot of opportunities that were given to them, especially on the base paths. And if you're going to be a good base running team, you're going to win at least a couple extra games. And that could be the difference in you making the postseason or you missing the postseason. 3 for 9 with runners in scoring position. The Braves went 0 for 7, left 10 guys on base, double that of the Padres today. And the Padres win by 3. Is that surprising when you're looking at those numbers? I don't think so. So, yeah, there you go. I will get to the chat here in a little bit, but shout out to some of the great partners of the show. I had Gaglione Bros today, had to, opening day, got myself a cheesesteak. Shout out Jacob, who got me that. And shout out the fans that were in my section, obviously. Super nice. Some of them recognized me near the end of the game and showed me love, so appreciate that. Before the game, I went over to John and Jim where they were broadcasting, so that was good to see them. And it was just great to be back at the ballpark. Love being back at the ballpark. But yeah, Gaglione Bros, their main location is on Friars Road. They're inside Snapdragon Stadium. SDFC playing LAFC on Saturday night. Padres on Saturday night as well at 4:15 against the Braves. Tomorrow night, 6:40 against the Braves. Got that yellow hat giveaway, so that'll be cool to get. I'll be there tomorrow night. They've got that homestand, obviously, or the last series of the homestand against Cleveland starting on Monday. But yeah, down the third baseline at Petco Park, and then they have another one, I believe, in the upper deck. Garlic fries, cheesesteaks, great stuff. So check them out. Again, their main location is on Friars Road. Link in the description for all the details. Underdog, when you sign up with code Talking Friars or you click that link in the description, you'll get a 50% deposit match up to $1,000 in bonus credits. And today, you could do it. I guess someone in one of the later games could hit the longest home run. But Underdog was doing a contest where they split the pot. I believe it was $500,000. Maybe it was 50,000. I'm double checking this here. 1 second. Let's see, where is it? Yeah, here it is. Today. So if you're watching this live on YouTube, at least put yourself out there. Go pick a Mariners player or what's the other late game? I think D-backs and maybe the Cubs. Go pick one of them, and you could split the pot of $500,000 if that player gets the longest home run of the day. And that's on Underdog. So go check it out. There's the Underdog app. They have the website. And I encourage you to do that today. And then same code, Talking Friars, goes for SeatGeek. When you sign up, $20 off your first order there. Caught looking with the super chat. Thank you, man. Don't know how that Tatis ball didn't get out. Yeah. I mean, there was a ball that Lockridge, when Lockridge made that catch, I thought that ball was out. And then there were some that I thought were gone. Yeah, Tatis hit that ball hard. But when they showed the replay, I'm not saying he would have gotten to second base because Profar, we know he has an arm. But you still should be running out of the box. It's not like he hit it in the second deck where it's like no doubt that was a bomb. He hit it on a line. Did he hit it hard? Yeah, he smoked it. But I think you still got to be running. Yeah, holy sheets. Bill says the error in the ninth led to Suarez being shaken. You could tell. I believe it's 2 out and no one on if that play is made by Bogarts. Oh, yeah. Well, it's a throw that Bogarts should have made. He had plenty of time. He gathered himself, he pumped, and then threw and just sailed it a little bit. If Sheets was at first, who knows? I mean, Sheets may have not had to jump for that, but you want to rise in the game still for his bat. And Sheets had already pinch hit. Yeah, Sheets going yard was awesome. Oh, we got a. I think this is a Dodger fan anyway, but whatever. Manny playing all out for opening day. He won't tomorrow. He won't if the situation doesn't call for it. If the situation calls for it, he will. He's not going to eyewash you with, hustling all the time when it's a 162 game season. And he's trying to play 162. That's who he is. Mike says it was great to see them aggressive on the base pass and to see some leather flashing today. No quit reminds me of last year for sure. Yep. And I think that was asked to Mike Schilt post game, and yeah, it's a good point. If you can have those same characteristics, then we're going to be in a pretty good spot. Merrill is the star of the team. What Tatis hoped he would be. Well, let's not forget Tatis was Babe Ruth in the postseason last year. Didn't he have a OPS over 1,000? Yeah, again, JD's third says Nando admired his long single SMH. Thank you for the super chat. Yeah, I mean, I've obviously made my thoughts already known on this. Wasn't a big fan of that, but he then made up for it though. It's not like, he continued to not hustle. The guy then got to second base and stole third. So he got farther than a double pretty darn quick. Take X out of cleanup, move Jackson there and have Sheets be DH, DFA Yuli. Those are some hot takes after one game. I'm not saying that you shouldn't take Xander out of cleanup, but I think part of what the Padres are doing there is it's Xander Bogaerts. Schilt believes in his guys and vets that have done it at the big league level, and you're giving a guy in Jackson Merrill an opportunity to drive in another run if Bogaerts gets on in front of him. And Bogaerts is a righty, and Chris Sale was a lefty today. Is a lefty. Yeah, I like it too. I think Arias can hit. I mean, he's just a hitter, so I wouldn't even mind him bleeding off every game. But yeah, when a lefty's on the mound, to have him have left versus right off the bat, and you have to face Tatis, could be 1-0 real quick. Yeah, White Sox won today. Congrats to Will Venable. Didn't they smoke the Angels? Devin says Crony should not bat against lefties. He was bad today. I was wondering why he wasn't sub late when Iglesias was available. Do you mean late by like eighth or ninth inning? Because if that's the case, it's because they want him defensively at second base. He's good defensively at second base, and we saw it today. If you're talking about like a pinch hitting situation, yeah, because Crony, and he would say it, struck out twice today, swung at some breaking balls that were not in the zone, chased. But that's going to happen when you're facing Chris Sale. And when you're facing, I think 3 of the 4 at-bats were against lefties. It's probably going to happen. It's tough to hit in the big leagues. But I've said this before. I would be fine if Iglesias starts against lefties and Crony comes off the bench. Because as much as I love Crony, I want this team to win. And I want the best lineup out there. And Crony can always come in and play defense late in a game. He can pinch hit when a righty's on the mound. I don't know if you should bench him against every lefty, but when it's Chris Sale on the mound, yeah, probably go with the righty. I know it's opening day, but Mike Schilt's job is to manage every game like it's the same. It's 1 of 162. That's a fact. Padres lost, 15-0 against the Dodgers in 2016? It was 1 of 162. Today, winning this game, it's 1 of 162. It does, you just move on to the next day and do your best. But obviously, great to get the win. Red Devil NC says get Merrill signed. Yeah, that would be great, but do we have that money to get Merrill signed? Do we have the money to give him $400 million? Like, what is he going to cost? This guy's. I would not be surprised that he gets top 10 MVP votes this year. Um, Gold Glove is coming at some point. Silver Sluggers in center. They approached him about an extension before he debuted, and then I think early on, and they didn't reach an agreement. Obviously, that was the best for Merrill. Not for the Padres, though, because they're going to have to pay. Take the Musgrove jersey down, replace it with Merrill's. This isn't a Musgrove jersey, by the way. It's the Musgrove Beach Towel giveaway that they had. And I'm wearing my. I'd rather wear my Merrill jersey than just have it hang. But if they have like a Merrill towel giveaway at some point or something like that, then I'm not going to take Musgrove down. Like, Joe's my favorite Padre. But they could share some space. Sheil was in the clubhouse after the game. Is that true? I'm checking social media right now real quick. I don't see any tweets about it, but maybe Kevin wrote about it. But I don't want to sit here and read the article because that's wasting your time. You can go read the article yourself. Oh, nice. Shohei just homered. I'm getting like a million tweets about it. That Cheats homer was pretty darn cool. To see Petco go alive today, that was awesome. Caught looking says Estrada is the most fit to be a closer. I mean, I think today he probably wasn't happy with his control. There was a lot of pitches that were up, and he wanted them up. It seemed like, but too far out of the zone. Personally, I'd go with Adam over Estrada first, but Estrada's not the worst option. Mike says Hayward did his job to get time to throw over, then hit and run with Nando. Yeah, that's right. That's what it was. Yeah, the hit and run with Nando got Hayward to third, and then he scored on the sac fly. Yeah, that was beautiful. For Nando to go the other way like that. You're right. Hayward take second, move. I think it was Albies to go cover the bag, opens up the right side of the infield, and boom, gets to third on that. Thank you for mentioning that, Mike. Thank you. Because that's another one of the examples today of just good Padres Mike Schultz baseball. Did you guys see the Clippers shout out the Padres today? It was so weird because I saw it on social, or no, I think someone sent it to me. They said they quote tweeted the Padres lineup, said happy opening day, good luck this season, Padres. But then I went on their Twitter account and they did the same thing for the Angels and they did the same thing for the Dodgers. I get doing it for the Padres. Like, I would have loved it if they would have been like, good luck, Padres, and didn't do the Dodgers or the Angels and just said, like, we want the San Diego audience. And I think us San Diegans would have respected that. The G League, the G League team, it's in San Diego, Oceanside, San Diego Clippers. there's the connection there. Kawhi, obviously, Norm Powell, there's the connection. But then they did LA as well and Anaheim, and it's like you can't say good luck to the Dodgers and the Padres. You got to pick a side. If you're going to be the Lakers and pick the Dodgers, okay. See, I'm seeing happy opening day. Good luck this season at Dodgers. Quote tweeting the Dodgers lineup against the Tigers. And they did the same thing with the Angels. Happy opening day. Good luck this season at Angels. Now, some of the reply, I was just there for the replies. The Padres replied with hearts to the Clippers. Move out of LA. I'm just reading some of the comments here because this was funny. Weird tweet. I know the Clips used to be in San Diego, but still nobody supporting the other LA baseball team. Go back to SD. This post won't go over well. Proof that the Clippers are not a real LA team. Diabolical troll job. This is so ridiculously hilarious. Embarrassing. Good thing I'm not a Clippers fan anymore. Nah, you officially need to leave Los Angeles. A poverty franchise supporting another poverty franchise. This is why you have no fans. I mean, if I had to root for an NBA team, it would be the Clippers because I work for the San Diego Clippers and there's the Kawhi connection. And part of their seating is inspired by Viejas Arena. But if they were going to, shout out the Padres, don't shout out the Dodgers too. It's okay to shout out the Angels, but don't shout out the Dodgers. Not the move if you're trying to rep LA. Come back to SD, please. I can endorse that. Finally, they're acknowledging they're not a real LA team. Unfollowed. Delete this, please. Move to Seattle. Yeah, I think this is just a lot of people that don't remember that the G League team is in San Diego County. So that's why they did it. It was funny. Was King's velocity down? Or was it a breaking pitch that was like 91 on the Albies homer? And it's, middle. Let me look up that Albies homer, by the way. Because I obviously was sitting in the upper deck, so it's not like I was watching the game on TV. Oh, geez. Yeah, that's a meatball. 91 four-seam fastball, 91 right down the middle. Wow. Yeah. That is velocity down. I don't think his fastball is usually 91. But here, I'll look on Baseball Savant. I wonder what his average velocity was today, because that's one pitch. Let's see. Michael King, where is this? Give me a minute here. Okay. Maximum velocity was 94.8. His average, well, what was his 2024 average? Because it says his yearly average was 92.9, but that's just one start today, I think. Let me see if it'll pull up on his page the 2024 velocity. I'm not seeing it. Oh, maybe it's here. No, that's exit velocity. Where is the velocity? I'm not seeing it. All right. Oh well. If his velocity's down, yeah, first start of the year, that's not great. But considering what he was doing in the outing, he was probably not trying to go high on velocity. He was trying to probably locate better. So you drop the velocity to try to locate better. Obviously, that one was, middle. Continuing with the chat here. Yeah, there's that whole Padres SDFC thing. Like, it's so weird. It doesn't matter, but also at the same time, it's like for the Padres, it doesn't take effort to just like, hey, SDFC, good luck on your season, or like post the Padres players at the SDFC match. You've got the Wave, you've got SDFC, you've got all your teams in town promoting you, San Diego State. Good luck, Padres. And I guess that's them like leveling up because the Padres are the big team in town. Why would the Padres level down? They don't need to. But it's an easy thing to do. You don't lose followers. You're going to have great attendance, even when SDFC is playing or Wave is playing. You're still going to have a great attendance on the year. So, has the social media team been told by marketing or by Eric Grutner or something like, don't don't congratulate any other team, don't promote any other team, as if San Diegans are stupid and don't know that those teams exist? Like, it's like when radio stations say, they don't want to mention the other sports radio station in town. And it's like, okay, I get it a little bit, but at the same time, everyone, if you listen to sports radio, you know that there's multiple stations. I think most people know that there's multiple stations. Um, so yeah, it's not a big deal, but it's also like, come on, Padres, just why can't you do it? You know. Some other scores around opening day today. Let's see here. So the night games are Cubs, D-backs, A's, and Mariners. I heard that there was maybe somewhat of an issue with the MLB TV today for Padres fans. Yeah. Did I see? I saw that there may have been an issue with MLB TV. I obviously wasn't using it because I was at the game, but yeah, not great. Yankees won 4-2 over the Brewers. Baltimore crushed Toronto 12-2. Boston beat Texas 5-2. Philly beat the Nats 7-3. Harper and Schwarber homered. Harper back in DC. Cleveland beat Kansas City 7-4. Mets lost in Soto's debut to the Astros 3-1. Giants won 6-4 over the Reds. White Sox whooped the Angels 8-1. Uh, Paul Skeens lost, or the Pirates lost Paul Skeens' opening day start 5-4 to the Marlins. Minnesota lost to St. Louis 5-3, and then the Dodgers just beat the Tigers 5-4. So Dodgers are 3-0. Padres are 1-0. D-backs have not played. Did I skip the Rockies, or do they not play today? I don't think they play today. And the Giants are 1-0. Yeah, Colorado plays Tampa Bay tomorrow. So there's that. I agree with this. Yeah, Padres can win 85 plus for sure. I don't know if they'll get to 93, but I think they can win enough to be in the playoffs. And then who knows what's going to happen then. The problem, though, for the Padres, it's like it would be so nice to be in the American League this year. I think we'd feel so much better if we were in the American League because the National League teams around the Padres, like the D-backs and the Mets, improved. Oh, Rockies. Thanks, Mom. Rockies beat the Royals. Okay. Did I say that? But I just totally forgot. No. No, Guardians played the Royals. No, Rockies didn't play today. I'm looking at all the games. Anyway, what was I saying? Oh, American League. Like in the American League, there's AL West teams that are like, oh, Seattle, interesting. Texas, interesting. Houston, I don't think so, but they're there. You got the Yankees, you got the Orioles, you've got Kansas City, Detroit, but they're not like as stacked, in my opinion, as like the Mets, as potentially the D-backs, obviously the Dodgers. The Brewers are always tough. The Braves, when they get guys, everyone back. Did I say the Phillies already? With their rotation and star power they have, like there's a lot of teams. It's tough. I think a lot of people would rather be in the American League than in the National League. But if the Padres can get through the National League, that'll make it just that much more impressive. And then they'd be the favorites to go, knock off whoever it is in the American League, I would assume. But it's game one today, and the Padres won, but it's a long season. But back at it tomorrow. So, fun day. Padres win 7-4 over the Braves. Gavin Sheets with the homer. Jackson Merrill, 4 runs driven in. Manny, couple of steals, couple of runs scored. Tatis using his legs again. Remember last year, he was playing on like one leg because of the pain that he had. I mean, since the beginning of the year, remember in Korea, in that Giant series to start the year in San Francisco. So healthy Tatis, healthy Arise, healthy Manny. It's going to make for a pretty dangerous lineup, I think. And they won the game that Michael King struggled. So that's a real positive, too. All right. Dylan sees tomorrow. Thank you, everybody, for the time. Hopefully you enjoyed opening day as well. And talk to y'all later.